Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so grateful for the privilege that I've had to collaborate with ProvideInc and Stars of Hope so that we can, in honor of 9/11, help give some hopeful messages to not only our schools but our local hospitals during this trying time of the pandemic. So thank you so much. And I'm gonna just show you some of the basic tips for when you're creating your star. This is what the star looks like. Some of them are already pre-painted white, some of them are natural wood color. So just for the starting point is we are going to create on the side that does not have the star. The star is considered the back. So, and then at the circle right here is gonna be how it's hung. So this is the upward way. So whatever design you want to create on your star, just make sure that the hole is at the top and that you are on the opposite side of the star. So the whole purpose of this workshop that we're joining together is that we are going to help spread hope. And the way we're doing that is we're going to create hope-filled messages on these stars. And there's no wrong way of doing it. So the more creative, the better. All these stars are going to be unique to you and what you want to create. And so either you can, after you're done creating your star, you can either keep the star for yourself and give it to someone that needs a hopeful message, or you can return them back to ProvideInc so that way we can help ship them out to local hospitals and local schools. So I'm going to show you each step to create your star. Just the basics, because I want you to be able to create what you want, whatever design. You should have a bag of your kit. So it's going to come with a star, some paint, glitter, other supplies. Please feel free to use anything that you have at home that might be creative. These are just to kind of get you started. You do not have to use these supplies. And if there's anything at the end that is left over that you would like to re-donate back, just make sure you return it back with your star. And that way we can kind of recycle some of the supplies if you want to give it back. If you happen to use it or want to use it for another project, please feel free to keep them. So thank you again for joining us today, and I'm excited to get started. So one thing I did want to do before we get started, just to help bring us here in the moment, because I know sometimes when we're gathering, our minds can be elsewhere. So to help bring us to this present moment before we start creating, so we can enjoy the process, is I want us to take the opportunity to do a grounding exercise through breathing. So you may have done something like this before, but if you haven't, this is a great thing to do whenever you're kind of feeling a little frazzled or all over the place, or it's a hard time being present in the moment. So what I like to do is the breathing of 4, and I use my fingers to help count in this process. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna breathe in, and while we're breathing in, we're gonna count to 4. Then we're gonna hold our breath for 4. Then we're going to exhale for 4. And then we're going to breathe in again for 4. So for this process, we're going to repeat this 3 times, and please just go at your own pace. So as a reminder, we're gonna do breathe in for 4. Then we're going to hold our breath for 4. We're going to exhale our breath for 4. And then we're going to repeat that process. Some people also will hold their breath again after they exhale. So whatever you feel comfortable with, and let's begin the process. For doing that quick little exercise. It's a nice little trick that you can take anywhere with you, but I hope that helped bring you here for. So to get started, you're gonna wanna make sure that you put something down that you don't mind getting dirty. So I put some paper towel. I have some extra paper towels so that way when I'm painting, I can clean my paintbrush off. And then a cup of water, so that way you can clean off your brush and change up colors. And then I also have a plate to put my colors on. You can use them right out of your container as well, for whatever you prefer to use. Now, since mine already has a white background, I probably won't put a white base, but if you are using any light colors, you might want to put some white down and let it dry before you end up painting a little bit more. So for this next phase, there is no wrong way to create your star. So I'm actually going to create almost like a sky. So I'm adding some blues, some whites, and some variations to mine. But you are more than welcome to create whatever you want to create. Another tip is that when you are painting, feel free to use water. Sometimes if your paintbrush is too dry with paint, it's hard to spread it and you might end up seeing some different lines and variations that you don't want. So when in doubt, add water. If the color is too light, then maybe you need to add more paint or maybe mix it with some white. Sometimes colors are a little bit transparent and the white helps it become more opaque. So experiment and create however you would like. You could always have a piece of paper next to your star if you want to test out colors before putting them on. Once again, there is no wrong way of creating. And once you decide that you're finished with your design, I would let it dry. So I plan on letting this dry, and then I'm going to start doing some writing on top of it. It's to each their own what you want to do. You don't have to have writing if you don't want to, but you can. There's also going to be an opportunity that when we're done, you can write a hope-filled message on the back of your star. And when you write this message, you can put your name, preferably just your first name, not your last, just for your own confidentiality. Whatever you feel comfortable with. If you want to put the city that you are from, or the state and so on, and maybe a hope-filled message. So that way they know kind of where these are coming from and that they're being thought of. So if you're interested in putting any type of glitter on here that is dry glitter, I would recommend doing that while your paint is still wet. So when your paint is still wet, it serves almost like a glue. So if you want to have any type of loose glitter, I would recommend doing that sooner than later.